This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hi, Jason Glick. How you doing?
I'm doing good, John. How about you?
Oh, not too bad. What do you have on tap for us today?
Well, we all know it's like, last 2020 has been kind of a terrible year for us, with pandemic and social unrest and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, but hey, the good news is, it's like, at least we're living in our world, and we're not living in the worlds of Tatsuki Fujimoto. He is the mangaka behind what is one of the new hotness series for Shonen Jump called Chainsaw Man. It's about this kid named Denji who, at the beginning of the series, we find out he sold off several of his organs and is working with like a chainsaw demon to just like kill other demons in order to like sustain his life. And like things go really bad for him after that, to the point where he dies after getting chopped up into bits and pieces, and then becomes the character known as Chainsaw Man. And this series has become like one of the new hotness series for Shonen Jump, because Shonen Jump is really good at creating like series that are like the new hotness. Because like I already talked about one earlier this year with Spy X Family and all, but with Chainsaw Man, it's like you kind of wonder like, well, it's like is this series that kind of like something that sprung up just like out of nowhere? What did Fujimoto just like do this series like without like any prior experience and all? Well, no, because crazy thing is he actually has had a prior series published like in the U.S. even called Fire Punch, and it is a series that, well, it's it's something special. It's something kind of crazy, and it's so crazy that I had to like ask my buddy Steve, who recommended this series to me like a while back, to talk about it. Hi, Steve. Welcome back to the show and all.
Hello, everyone.
Yep. So glad to have you back. Glad to have you talk about like another crazy series that it's like most normal people would just like look at and go like, what the hell are we talking about here?
It's man, it's definitely interesting. Definitely niche appeal. It's gonna have some rough spots for some people. Let's just say that.
Agreed. I mean, in fact, the very first volume is kind of a it's like it's kind of like the mangaka or Fujimoto's like basically message to the audience like, hey, if you don't like this, get the hell out. Get the hell out right now. Because it starts off with it's like in a world that is like slowly descended into an ice age brought on by a blessed called the the Ice King or Ice Queen. I can't remember. It's like, what is it? Ice King,
Ice
Ice
Queen,
Queen,
Ice Queen.
Ice Witch.
That's it.
Yeah, it's like, and basically it's like this like, because blessed are like your the kind of characters who have like special abilities. Like the Ice Witch has like ability to like bring extreme cold and all. Some blessed have like ability to manipulate iron. Others have the ability to like spam out flames that will never die out. It's like that will only die out when they've expended all their fuel, which will be relevant in a second. And others like will just be able to regenerate, like from whatever like a build like whatever injury that's been inflicted on them. That's the ability that's been gifted on two characters like that we meet at the beginning of the series, like some young kids named saying Agni and Luna. It's like they're living in a village filled with old people in the cold reaches of this world, and well, they're it's like and like they're trying their best to help out this village, like to keep people from living, keep people like living by well, Agni, like his regeneration abilities are such that he can just like he's just like letting Luna chop off his limbs, his arms specifically, in order to give meat to everyone in the village to live. So yeah, it's like that's right, everyone. Like the series that like introduces cannibalism right from the start. But and like the rest and most of the people of this village, they're just trying to they're willing to like accept like Agni's like goodwill and all, but like there are some who just like can't abide by it as well. It's like, and they figure it's better to starve to death than just like eat human flesh. Oh, and then there's his sister Luna, who like so it's like she's willing to support her brother in this, but she also just like at one point says, brother, let's just why don't we just like I love you so much. Why don't I just have like a baby, it's like in order to keep life going and all. And he's kind of like, no, it's like you're my sister and all. It's like, and yeah, so incest right from the start. Like it just gets better and better, doesn't it? And then like then they're visited upon the village is visited by it's like by a representative from one of the like last surviving powers in this world, the kingdom of Behemdorg, and like this guy Doma. It's like it's like he's just basically trying to raid the village in order to to like, take it for all of it, like all of its like all of its resources. And when he finds out that, oh my god, like these people are surviving on like cannibalism, this is no good. So he uses his blessed powers, like flames that will never go out, like until they've like extinguished all their fuel. Well, he burns the village down, and well, thing is, like, what happens when someone who has like flame power to like give out flames that will never go extinguish, once their fuel until their fuel goes out. Once those hit someone who has regenerative abilities, yeah, that's right. Agni's powers of regeneration are such that he's actually able to survive Doma's assault. It's like, and while he's living in extreme pain for these moments after after he's been after he's been inflicted. It's like, well, it's like well, his sister Luna, look, she's been hit by these as well, but her powers aren't as good as as Agni, so she's just slowly dying right there. And her last words to him before before she's burnt to a cinder are, Agni, live. And he takes those words to heart. And at the end, as the opening chapters end, well, we find out that he's just spent like the next 10 years coming to grips with being burnt alive. It's like, as his regenerative abilities just keep going from there. And so you've got this guy who is constantly on fire, just now looking to get revenge for for what was done to him. And it's like, and on one hand, that's kind of like the you think that's what Fire Punch is going to be about. It's going to be about this guy who is like who is like burning alive, like fighting the evil empire to get his revenge. But that's not all the first volume has in store for us, because it's also got like a whole lot of dismemberment. It's got Agni encountering this one kid named Sun, who also has blessed powers of electricity, and who believes that Agni is a god who has come to save him from his life. Oh, and then there's like this one guy in Behemdorg who, like, after a Sun is captured and Agni is reduced to like a head who is burning, and they're just having to like shoot him in order to keep him from fighting back against them. It's like, and as Sun is captured by Behemdorg, and he's like taken with this girl Neneto, and they're basically like given to this one guy who basically says, hey, it's like you're gonna have to work in order to stay alive. So hey, I'm gonna have you have sex with these dogs. Like I like bestiality and all. So yeah, this is another thing that this first volume has. Attempted bestiality. Oh, and there's also like lots of attempted rape in here as well. So yeah, this series establishes itself as a class act, like from the very first volume. And it's no surprise that one year when I was at Comic-Con, Deb Aoki basically said at the best and worst manga like for this year was on Fire Punch, because she was just looked at all this stuff and said, what the hell is this series about and all? Man, this is messed up. And I can't deny her that. I mean, there's like a lot of crazy ass stuff going on in this first volume. But then at the end, there's it's introduced this character, Neneto, not Neneto, Togata, who basically like talks about the like all the movies she's liked, and like how like they're what kept her as a regenerative blessed going like through all these years and all. So, and that's kind of a hint as to where the series is going from here. Because that Steve, like the series is kind of like that's first volume. It's just kind of like a get the hell out. Just telling everyone else just like, hey, stay away if you don't like what I'm doing here. Is this what do you think about it?
Yeah, I'd say those first chapters serve as a pretty good advisory of, well, this is my shtick, and you should probably bail if you don't like it, because it only gets more and more messed up from there. It's got the usual Japanese disdain for organized religion.
You don't say.
It manages to fit some of that in there. Yeah. Man, it's been a while since I've read a lot of it. I'm sure I've missed a couple other trigger warnings in there, but wow, this series, even like it or hate it, it will definitely make you feel something. And as a person who is frequently bored of most mainstream like entertainment just because it's very marketed and produced, this is
who looks upon like the adventures of most high schooler protagonist and goes, man, I've read this shit before, and like I'm not interested in like where it's going from here.
yeah, because you know where it's been, right? You know where it's going, right? It's well trodden ground. This is very much off the beaten path. And I on that basis alone, I would recommend it for people who are very jaded with where manga is going.
Yeah, it's like, and because it's not until the second volume like kicks in, and then we get more of Togata's perspective, because Togata, she's probably the most like interesting character in the series, in the sense that like her obsession with movies kind of like fuels like a lot of its direction right here, because it actually kind of informs like the self-awareness like the series has towards like like the standard hero like trope here. Because like while you kind of expect like Agni to be just like, hey, like he's been set on fire, it's like he's just like, and there's like an evil empire that he's out to get. Well, you kind of figure like, oh well, we know where this is going. But with Togata, she like with her when she gets going in the second volume, and she finds out about hey, there's this naked exhibitionist who's constantly on fire. It's like, I gotta find out just what's driving him right here. So it's so I mean, and then when she goes to rescue him, like at one point like they're like she stumbles upon like these like characters from Behemdorg who are just like about to rape Nineto, this friend of Sun. It's like, and she's kind of like, no, go ahead and do it, because like it'll establish you as the villains like who deserve to die here and all. It's like she's got a very good handle on like the standard like hero conventions of manga and of like popular entertainment in general. And when she like explodes on the scene right here, it's kind of like it lets you know that, hey, there's more going on in Fire Punch than just straight up like, hey, this is like your standard issue like revenge story. No, it's like there's actually some thought about just what makes a it's like a hero. It's like, and and how are they perceived? It's like like in the it's like in the general public's eyes as well. Because while Togata like wants to believes that like Agni is going to be the hero of this movie that she's like filming right now. Well, she also has a good understanding of just what it takes in order to what this hero needs to be a hero, and also just like what a hero needs to experience in order to be defined as a hero, such as eventually like dying a tragic death and all. Because at the end, in the second volume, when we find out that, hey, she knows a lot more about what's going on in Behemdorg, and apparently what the Ice Witch's deal is. Well, it's like it's kind of like, it's fun to see her just manipulate the like she's aware of what's going on and what's and how things are going as well. It's like, and that's great, and but then at the same time though, like it's fun to see like Agni just like be manipulated by her, saying like when he's forced to like learn to like make hero poses, like she says, clench the snow in your fist to show your determination. I mean, that's and that's good. It's ridiculous, but it's also very much like true to the conventions as well. Same, same.
Very meta, as the kids like to say.
Ab- Absolutely. It's like, and it's kind of what drives like the series, like from here on out, because even though it's like you think that it's going to be about like Agni like fighting against like the Behemdo champions in order to you know in order to save everyone. Well, nope, that's only part of it because Fire Punch is only an 8-volume series, but Fujimoto manages to cram a lot of stuff in here because it kind of feels like he was like he had some general ideas about how to attack these things, like like just like analyzing like the hero narrative. It's like, and then just like finding out just what do you do like after the hero has like like saved everyone, like how does he respond to that? It's like, and just going from like from fighting against the bad guys, the evil empire, to saving all the people, to just like fight, eventually like being like like regarded as a hero, as a god,
Deified.
deified, yes, to Togata saying like, hey, it's like you're basically regarded as a god now, and like basically two things are going to happen: you're either going to deliver on being a god, or everyone's going to realize that you're kind of like you're not a god, you're a disappointment, and they're going to turn on you. So on one hand, it's fun to see all these things, like see Fujimoto address these things. I can't say he like dives a whole lot into them because he's got ideas about how these things are meant to be addressed, but at the same time, it's like he's kind of like just like kind of burning through a lot of different things because I mean he eventually comes across his former nemesis Doma, who's the guy who set him on fire in the first place, and the first time he encounters him, when Behemdori is still a thing, like Doma's just kind of descended into mental instability. But then when he encounters him again and finds out that he's reformed, he's leading a decent life right now, and well, that goes badly. That goes really badly, right, Steve?
Well, yes. It's among other things, it's a meditation on revenge and what it means to reform. It's yeah, I won't spoil that part, but woof, man.
Yeah, it's like Fire. One thing I also admire about Fire Punch is it's not afraid to just ask like is this hero really the villain? And it's not just like asking like, hey, is our hero the villain? No, it's like he does some shit in here that is just like, whoa. It's like that's not cool, man. Like that would get you the child killer tag in Fallout 2. It's like that's wow. And it's like and it's kind of like it's like Fujimoto just like had a lot of ideas about what to he like he didn't want to like have our character like be like a conventional hero. It's like he wanted to just like ask difficult questions like what does it take? It's like, well, what happens when like our hero like has like real like mental problems? What happens when like our hero is kind of actually the villain? It's like, and that's and I kind of like seeing him ask that right there, especially when like we get like past the halfway point, and it's like, and we find and Agni kind of like winds up living a decent life with his former with this girl it's like Judah, who looks almost exactly like his sister Luna, but she's not her, but she's just kind of like he just kind of wants to believe that she's his sister, but she's not, and there's all sorts of awkward like crazy shit that comes from that. Oh, especially when we encounter like the most toxic Star Wars fan ever, in fiction or in real life. I'm talking about the Eye Switch, because remember Steve, her deal is that apparently in the world of Fire Punch, like the last Star Wars film ended on a cliffhanger, and now she wants to raise up civilization again to the exact point it was before its decline, so that someone can like make like the Star Wars sequel that she wants.
Look, it's these sorts of difficult questions about the protagonist, not saying hero, about the protagonist
Yes,
that
protagonist.
that keep that kept this series from having its mainstream appeal. People don't want complicated people. They don't want complicated heroes. Not really. They want their entertainment. They want fast and easy, and they want easy solutions. So it's this among many other things that I felt kept this series from seeing widespread appeal.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's kind of like why it wound up on, like, like why Deb Aoki, like, put this as, like, one of the worst series of the year for like the best and worst manga panel at Comic Con. It's like, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like I think that, they're like just asking these questions and just having, it's like, and trying to follow through on them, like at the it's like in the second half, like when Agni, like, loses his like his when he stops being on fire constantly, and he also, like, has to, like, live, like, get used to, like, living as a normal person again, but at the same time he's got to, like, deal with, like, all this crazy, all this stuff he's done. And when someone asks him, like, hey, like, Fire Punch killed my family, I want you to kill Fire Punch. He says, yeah, I'll do that. And then it cuts to a scene where, like, hey, he's tried to cut off, like, slit open his veins lengthwise with a knife, or, just like try to cut off his head with a chainsaw. It's like, yeah, it's like, this is stuff you're not gonna see. It's like in a like in your average manga. It's like, and that's, or comics period. It's like, it's not gonna, like, it's not like the kind of, like, like conventional appeal that you're gonna, like, that you would have for, like, like for a main series. So, like, it's like yeah, I get that. I get that. But at the same time, it's like, it's like finding out, like, just what Agni is going to do at the end. It's like, and just like, how he it's like, it's like just what he's, like, what his eventual goals are when he realizes that, just like what his role in the story is. It's like, it's interesting, really. It's like, especially, and also what Sun's role is, because Sun is a true believer and contributes to that whole, and someone who believes in Agni as a god. But his belief in Agni is only skin deep, such as it is, because it's like when Agni, like, eventually comes into contact with Sun again, because Sun believes that Judah, is someone who deserves to die, for what for all the injustices she's inflicted upon the world. Well, Agni, well, he's got his own beliefs about Judah, but they're kind of like self delusion as well. And, just the fact that, like, Agni is willing to fight, not for what's right, but for his belief in reality, for, like, his delusion of self. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not something you see very often in, like, in fiction. Period. And I think that's what gives Fire Punch its appeal. It's like, maybe it doesn't do things, like, as well as you'd expect. Like, maybe there's this feeling that the creator, that Fujimoto, is kind of like burning through stuff, like as it appeals to him. But like, I'm fine with that. I mean, he does, like, he does tell, he the fact that he's willing to go places that most creators, like, would not fear to tread. It's like, that's kind of like what I feel gives the series its appeal.
If you want a challenging, interesting manga that will make you think about things and feel something, I would say, and that served as a precursor to Chainsaw Man, I would say, you should go read Fire Punch. I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah, and I will say that, like, the ending for the series is a big swing. It's, wow. It's like, it's kind of like, it's like, for a series that, just like, was, I don't think the series was, like, especially well planned out, but even then, like, the directions that it took were kind of, like, appealing in itself. But like, the ending is just kind of like, wow. It's like, I think it's probably true to the spirit of the series, even if it's just kind of like, it's kind of messed up. It's like in its own way, because just not to give anything away, it basically involves the heat death of the universe, right, Steve?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it is an ending. Um, I'm not going to say it was amazing, but it ended the events of the series, and that's all I will say about it.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, it's like so. I guess the real secret thing about this podcast is that we wanted to talk about Fire Punch a whole lot, and it's like talking and tying it to Chainsaw Man was like the thing we were able to do in order to do that. Yeah, but I guess we should probably say something about the new about Chainsaw Man, right, Steve?
I would hope so, because hey, it's found mainstream appeal, and it's actually still worth reading.
Yeah, it's like in fact, it's kind of like after having read Fire Punch, you get the feeling that someone at Shueisha basically figured, hey, you know what? Let's give this guy a shot at Shonen Jump. It'll either be a giant mistake or a huge success. And it turns out that the latter turned out to be true. Like crazy it is as it is, huh?
I'm glad for it. He deserves it.
Yeah, it's like because Chainsaw Man is basically about this kid named Denji. It's like this kid who starts off like at the beginning of the series like hugely in debt to the point where he sold off like an eye, a kidney, a nut in order to like get out from under the debt that his deadbeat dad who has disappeared has gotten into with the Yakuza. But and hey, Steve, stop me if I'm wrong here, but this series has the completely original premise that hey, demons exist in the world, and that some people need to go out and kill these demons, huh?
It does start from a very cliched premise, but it goes into very original places with it, and I think it's a wonderful subversion of the usual shonen trope of there's demons and they need hunting.
Yeah, because like I mean like not most series like this type don't begin with like our hero being cut into pieces and dumped into a dumpster, and then like having to forge a pact with his like cute little chainsaw demon in order to become like the anti-hero known as Chainsaw Man, because like this series is it's a Shonen Jump series, but it also helps remembering that at one point Fist of the North Star was also a Shonen Jump series, and this series is very much in that vein in terms of its like over the top violence and craziness so far. At least in the two volumes that I've read, like for like them published in English so far. And Denji, it's like he's eventually recruited by the Public Safety Devil Exterminations Special Division Section 4 by this girl Makima, and well, part of the one of the things I like about this series is that it basically acknowledges that yeah, it's like that boys are really dumb. It's like and it's like any guy who's still in touch with their inner 15-year-old, or anyone who is in touch with their inner 15-year-old and their inner 15-year-old identifies as male, will probably enjoy this series in the sense that it's focused on it's like on over the top violence, on it's like on Denji's desire to touch boobs as his main goal in life, and when he's paired up with the Division 4's like hotshot guy Aki Hayakawa, like, and Aki's just like the straight laced. He is what it's, oh, it's like dang it. Dang it. It's like, who's the other guy in, not Naruto, but his rival in Naruto?
Sasuke.
Sasuke, yeah. He is Sasuke to Denji's Naruto. And it's like, and basically, like, their first encounter together basically involves, like, Aki trying to beat the crap out of Denji, saying, like, you're no good for this. And then Denji just, like, kicking him in his nuts, because he goes, I always go for the nuts. And it's like it just kicks them in the nuts over and over to the point where it's like when they go back report on their excursion back to Makima, Denji goes, no, it's like he was attacked by a testicle hunting devil. It's like and Yeah, this is the level of sophistication that Chainsaw Man has, and I love it. It is gloriously dumb, but it's dumb in a way that that I can thoroughly relate to. So, how about you, Steve?
Ah, man, it's just go read it, guys and girls. Whoever's listening to this, go give it a shake on what's it? What's that service that has it right now?
What Manga
Manga Plus.
Plus?
Yeah, like give it a shake out there, and then if you like it, you should go buy some digital volume somewhere. Because man, it's I think it's pretty damn good. He I'd say the author sanded off the rough edges, still kept his edge, but his original flavor, but sanded off the weird like controversial bits, kind of.
Yeah, because
Um,
like Denji's a pretty straightforward protagonist. I mean, we have no issues with rooting for him, right?
oh yeah, he's great. Um,
Yeah, and then there's Power, the it's like the fiend, like a demon, like a demon who has inhabited a human's body, and she is just wow. She's crazy. She's mean. She is like out to become prime minister of Japan by way of the Nobel Prize, like in order to like institute a 100% sales tax, like against everyone in order to make like everyone hate her. It's like when when Denji, someone asks Denji, he's like, "Wait, is she always like this?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, really. Like, she's just kind of normal for her."
she's
So
a
like,
good character too.
yes, and it's like she's a cat person, so I approve of her.
Mm,
I
disagree.
approve of her.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's like she's a cat person, so she can't be like truly evil. Yeah, and that's where we're going, right? Right, Steve?
That's where you're going, sir.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that then. I see how it is. Yeah, yeah. But so far, like Chainsaw Man has been like violent, irreverent, immature, but in like really fun terms so far. And like I've only read 2 volumes of it, like because that's all that this is released so far. And even if it's just kind of like, oh wait, another demon hunting Shonen Jump series, wow, it's like I might as well get on this real quick. Not. It's actually like a lot better than it would seem, and also it's like it's apparently to the point where it's like apparently like it's being relaunched like in the near future because I think it's like what these first like the first 10 volumes like are going to be one story, and then like it's going to be starting again. It's like like later on in Shonen Jump because apparently and also apparently it's getting a series from Mappa, the guys who are handling the it's like the current season of Attack on Titan, and who did the excellent Dorohedoro adaptation, which is something that will probably be talked about next year. It's like on this podcast. Thanks to Steve who who put the anime on like on play at one time when I was at his place, and I thought, holy crap, the series is great.
Wait. Chainsaw Man's getting a anime?
Yeah,
Holy balls!
yeah, and like I said, the guys from Dorohedoro are doing it, and
Yeah.
I think that they're more than qualified to do something like this.
They do good animation work.
It's like they're kind of like the like I guess like the modern day answer to Madhouse because I don't know what's going on with Madhouse these days, but just the guys who can do just like really crazy like crazy and weird violent stuff. So
Yep, I agree with you there. They got the weird violence nailed.
yeah, absolutely. So like yeah, so I mean I'm sure like Chainsaw Man is like well liked right now, but it's only going to be like even more well liked once the anime comes out. But even then, like I think that everyone should like get on board with the 2 volumes that have been released by Viz so far. But also go out and read Fire Punch as well, because if you want to know like where did Chainsaw Man come from, where did this like crazy ass like a mindset come from? Well, that has your answer for it as well. But I would absolutely recommend just read that first volume of Fire Punch. It's like
Fire punch! Fire
Fire Punch. Yeah, it's like it will that if you read that first volume of Fire Punch, it will tell you it's like wow, it's like this series is like crazy and strange. it's like and out there. It's like just so weird that I want to read more of it. Or you'll just read it and go, wow. It's like I just this is not for me at all. But but speaking of someone who read it and loved that first volume for all its weirdness and offensiveness, it's like man, it's like I just want more series like that like out there, and hopefully the more series like that released over like next year and all. It's like we'll see how that goes. But overall, it's like I'm glad you recommended this series to me, Steve. It's like and yeah, it's like Fire Punch was it's like I read it twice in like these last couple weeks, and it was like thoroughly enjoyable. It's like both times around.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. But I'm thankful to you for taking the time to you know talk about and promote it because man, that it was if absolutely nothing else, and there's more, but if nothing else, it made me feel something, and I'd say that's a win in this in an age where you kind of know how a series is going to go from the start most of the time, right? You just kind of know, but man, this one takes you places.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're uncomfortable places, and maybe you may not like that. But if you're okay with it, you should definitely read Fire Punch.
It's like absolutely. So yeah, thank you for recommending this, and thank you for making it. Thank you for the series for taking me to like places that made me feel like didn't make me feel good like all the time, but like it definitely made me feel as well. So John, it's like I know you're still there. So any thoughts on your end about any of this craziness and nonsense?
Um, not really. Um, yeah. So, where you can just where did you pick up your copy from?
Okay, Fire Punch is available in print and digital as well, which is how I read it. And Chainsaw Man is also available in print and digital as well. So like I got mine from Comixology, but so but I mean it's like you'll be able to find them like find copies like like at most like reputable retailers like around and all.
Hmm, cool, reputable ones versus the irreputable ones.
Yes.
Yeah, go to the good ones, guys. Keep your local comic book shop in business. During this strange time. But do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Well, so I guess since we're like gonna be firmly into 2021 at this point, it's gonna be time for my best of 2020 list and all. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, great. Hey, look forward to hearing your insights on this one.
Yeah, and again, hey Steve, thanks for coming by again.
Of course, anytime, sir.
Yeah, always glad to have you.
All right. Thanks for joining Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right, later's.